Our guest in the studio at The Informer is Michael Ray, who's been a long-time contributor. In fact, from day one, he's been with us. He's a single father, and we have covered an array of topics in that time, Michael. I think with the festive season coming on, we have Christmas, we have Hanukkah. What do you think it means in this day and age for those families that aren't together as one in the old nuclear way, mum, dad and children? I'm talking about now the modern families, which can number and come in so many different forms.
Oh, George, the whole season, it's about, to me, reflection and celebration. And sometimes it can be that real dichotomy of the two, where it's the happiest time in the world and also the saddest, deepest time in the world. We know that our support services, our lifelines and all the rest of the frontline people are overrun at this time. Divorces go up and all the rest of it. So it's definitely a time that affects some of us negatively. We miss the people that we're not with anymore, our parents who have recently left us, or even a long time ago left us. And again, it's about that reflection on what we've lost, but I think we need to focus on what we have, and we need to have a plan going forward.
Do you think the pressure this year, or the difficulty this year, has been the fact that the festive season comes after an extraordinarily difficult year? 8-9 months of disruption, of restrictions galore. People have had to struggle at almost every level. Children at school, for example, they weren't able to have a complete year at school with their teachers. There's been this new thing called homeschooling. Have you coped with it, Dad?
I have. I've almost mastered grade 3 maths now. The teacher...
Has Charlie forgiven you?
Yeah, the teacher sent me a complimentary note saying my math has improved. Charlie coped with it really well, but we took the pressure off. I took the attitude that we were simply being asked to do our best, and if we had any problems, to reach out and ask for guidance. So not a lot had changed with that, but I definitely didn't want to risk our relationship and our connection for academic advance.
Excellent.
She can always make up the academia, but if we damage our relationship, then we're in trouble.
It sounds like a very strategic play. Well done, Dad.
Thanks, George.
You talked about support services. They come under enormous pressure. They have been under enormous pressure all year. So what can we do to help them? I'm talking about the Salvos, St Vinny de Paul's, and all those other Second Bite, all those wonderful institutions that provide a layer of support for all those disadvantaged, disenfranchised, and people who are falling between the cracks that the councils, the state government, the federal government can't help or can't see.
George, I think we need to get back to that community, that neighbourhood, that family level that we seem to have drifted apart. So rather than waiting for somebody to ask for help, there are a lot of men, there are a lot of women who are separated from their children just through divorce and separation. So it might be your year with the kids, and Christmas Eve we all have that transfer type thing. Reach out to them, because a lot of, especially men, have too much pride and they isolate and they don't want to drag down. And that's what I say to guys all the time. I'll much rather listen to your heartfelt problems than your eulogy. And we need to reach out to them rather than expecting them to ask us for help. So drag them in, include them. I
think that's a tremendously positive attitude. There are so many things, though, that people can't let go of. Is it a time to show enormous maturity and growth, and show that the pain of that separation, that pain that some people can see as a failure, and I don't see it as a failure. People move on, change, evolve. It's about finding a balance, and surely for the good of the family, the extended family and the children, that's got to be the goal, the first goal, hasn't it?
Yep, that's it.
To find that balance?
You've got to move on. If you're stuck in the past, you're never going to move on. You've got to let go of what was, focus on what you have.
Yeah.
It's the old 3 questions. What happened, what now, what next?
And we've got to take the stigma out of it, haven't we?
Yeah.
Because once we do that, then we can all move forward. The children don't look back over their shoulder and say, what have we lost? Look, this is what we have.
Yeah.
And surely that's a more open attitude and a more progressive attitude than one we've held in the past. Yes or no?
Definitely, George. We need to get past how we feel we've been wronged or slighted and just go, you know what, it is what it is. I'm drawing a line under it and I'm going to move forward now with some positivity and support, because if you make your partner's or ex-partner's life difficult or hard in any way, it's going to impact your children.
Tremendously.
And
yeah.
the problem I see with a lot of the times is we have transactional values. Well, I'll behave in this way as long as they do. Values should never be transactional. We're good because we're good, or we're poor because we're poor. Not we were poor because they were poor. Step up. And I'll give you a Christmas present for some of the dads out here. A couple of Christmas presents.
Go on.
There's a book by a brilliant man, John Broadbent, called Man Unplugged, for the dads out there.
Man Unplugged.
John Broadbent.
Okay.
Get on it.
Yep.
For the people struggling with their work-life balance or integration, there's a brilliant organisation called Circle In, help you with flexible working and all the rest of it going forward, because a lot of the pinch points are there. And the other one is exercise and nutrition. Those three things going forward into the new year. Get your work sorted out, your work struggles, your exercise and your eating will impact every area of your life.
That's the holistic approach.
And that's what I'd say. Everything flows from that, because if you're not looking after yourself, you can't look after others.
Correct. Beautifully said. Michael Ray has been with us all year. Promises that this is only the beginning, and 2021 you're going to come back and we're going to talk about trying to balance up that imbalance that currently exists between the judicial system and the way it perceives families that have separated. All right?
Yep.
Good
You're
boy.
on, George. Merry Christmas.
Compliments of the season to you. Happy holidays. Let me throw in Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
And Kales Yortes in Greek. All the best. Michael Ray on The Informer.